In today's video, we are taking a look at the Tracfone LG Ultimate 2. This is one of two brand new Androids for the Tracfone service, and to date, probably or for sure, the most advanced Tracphones that they've offered to date. This particular model retails for $129.99. It is of the CDMA variety, as denoted right there on the box. So what that means is that this one will be activated with either Verizon or Sprint, more than likely I'd say Verizon. Now the specs on this particular phone are Android version 4.4, so that's a fairly new version. It's got a 4.5-inch screen measured diagonally. It's got a 5-megapixel rear camera with an LED flash, and it's got a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera right there. And the processor speed on this particular phone is 1.2 gig, and it's a quad-core unit. It is 3G data speeds, so Tracfone is still not quite up to LTE standards, or 4G. So this one is straight regular 3G. Now, one of the things I like about this particular phone is that I would say it falls under the just perfect sized category. Again, the screen is 4.5 inches measured diagonally, which we'll go ahead and measure. And there we have it. Now the height on this phone is right at about 5 inches, and the width is probably around 2.5. And it is a fairly slim device, and it comes in at 0.37 inches in thickness. So again, I really like the size of this phone. It's not too small, yet it's not too large that it won't fit in your pocket or anything like that. Now, one of the things I'm impressed about this phone is just the speed of the device, and just how quickly you can get through these animated screens, and that's usually a good sign in terms of the phone speed. See, there's no lagging whatsoever going from screen to screen. So I will say that this is a very fast phone, and I do like the price tag. This one is only $129.99. Now, if you're familiar with the original LG Ultimate, as you can see, this one's called the LG Ultimate 2. They're about the only similarity to the previous LG Ultimate is the name. This is a way more advanced phone, way quicker phone, better Android version, just 10 times better than the original LG Ultimate. I just think that one was such a good seller that they decided to name this one LG Ultimate 2, even though it bears absolutely no resemblance to that other device. Now, as far as the design and the buttons go, this is a fairly handsome phone. Of course, it is all plastic construction. Again, this is an entry-level device, but I do like the little touches that they've added on this phone. As you can see, you got this little aluminum look kind of trim going around the phone. Now in the back, they have like this little pixelated quasi hologram back cover, which looks cool. And on the buttons at the bottom, you find your typical capacitive touch buttons on either side, and then you have this physical push button in the middle, which ordinarily I would say that kind of blows, the fact that they're still adding physical push buttons on this. But this one is a very cool push button because you have that little LED light trim that goes around the button, and basically you can program that to do different things depending on what the phone is doing. So for example, right now it's got the screen locked, so it's just kind of flashing green every so often. But you can change that to flash like say white when you get a phone call, or multicolor when you get a phone call, stuff like that, and I'll show you that here in a bit. Now, as far as the remaining buttons, on the left hand side you have the volume. On the upper right hand side you have the lock button. On the top you have the headphone jack, and of course on the bottom you have your charge port. Now, one new feature that I've noticed on this particular LG that I haven't seen on another one to date is this thing that they call tap knock code sequence to unlock. So that's kind of like a sequence that you tap on the screen to get the screen to unlock. I made mine real easy, so basically I just go like that, and it unlocks the phone. And you can make that complicated or easy. I just thought it was something interesting that I haven't seen before. Not of particular, excellent use for some, I guess, but again, it was something interesting to talk about. Now, as far as that little button goes that I was talking about, we'll go ahead and take a look at that feature, which I kind of dig it. So basically what you can do is you can kind of program different lights, or you can kind of see what it's doing depending on what's happening with the phone. Now, I said you could change it, but you cannot change these. These are all preset, so all you could do is basically just kind of turn them on or turn them off. Now, as far as the rest of the features go on this phone, everything is pretty straightforward and typical Android. We don't get a lot of extras on this particular phone. I don't think it has a radio. It doesn't come with a flashlight, so you'll have to download one of those. Again, no radio. So you get pretty much all the standard Android stuff. And I believe you get 5 home screens on this thing. So you got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, it looks like you get 3 home screens. I'm not sure if you can change that setting to 5, but anyway, we'll go ahead and show you next some of the standard features. We'll take a look at Google Maps, and again, this is a pretty fast phone considering the price tag, and you can see there how easy and quickly it zooms in or out without much hesitation. So next we'll look at YouTube here, so you can get a sense of the video quality and maybe the audio quality perhaps. And we'll need to look for a decent video here. We'll take a look at that new trailer for the Avengers movie. And it's got excellent video quality. Now, the sound quality is a bit lacking, I will say. It's not particularly loud. We'll turn up the volume here. And it's got that typical tinny sound that you get on a lot of these lower end phones. So the sound quality is not all that impressive, but the video quality is really good on this. And then last but not least, of course, is the Google Play Store. As with all other Tracfones on the Android plan, you're not limited to what you can download. You can download any app, free or paid. It's not restricted by Tracfone in any way, so that's open to you. And then Finally, here's the phone dialer. As you can see, it's pretty typical phone dialer. The keys are nice and large on that. So next we'll show you the texting interface. This one is pretty easy to use. As you can see, tap plus to send a message. You can see the keyboard, and the keys on this thing are very responsive. That's one of the things that I liked about this phone. The keys were quite responsive, and I just found it a whole lot easier to type on for some reason. And of course it adjusts, you can text in either mode. So I think that about covers it on this phone. I would highly recommend this phone for the price. I would say that if you're going for a Tracfone Android, I would say this one is probably the one to get. There is another new phone that's also available, which is the Alcatel One Touch Pop Icon. That one is $20 more than this phone, but it's essentially got about the same features. The screen is a little bit larger, and it does have a couple of other little extra things that this one does not. But for the money, I highly recommend this phone. If you're looking for a Tracfone Android, then I would say the LG Ultimate 2 is the one to go for.